go to the Bucks and Celtics, and Jay Will is in the building to talk about this one. Giannis, of course, and his Bucks doing their pregame ritual, which they do all the time. It's the nightly fake fight in the hallway. Anyway, let's get to the getting hot early for the Bucks. Giannis, unbelievable, slamming it home there, Jay.
Yeah, this is a big-time play by Brandon Ingram, a play that actually before the clock dwindles out, gives him a 2-point lead. This is the player who Brandon Ingram has become this season, averaging 25 points, shooting 40% from the three-point line.
See Zion on the bench, excited there. And another opportunity there. So here's what got weird. The play was under review. Jay, take it away here.
If this happened the last time these two teams played, Derek Favors hooks Rudy Gobert. The refs call it at the end. I don't think they should have made the call. Rudy Gobert misses the first free throw, but then steps up, Laura, makes his second to send it into overtime.
So obviously, I thought that we were doing a Bucks Celtics highlight.
It happens.
We're not.
It's okay.
We're doing this
we
instead,
adjust.
and we're going to keep adjusting. So here's overtime between these two teams. The Pelicans and the Jazz trying to see who's going to get this one. And what happened here, Jay?
Oh, it goes up against the and one. Look, the Pelicans are one of the best teams when they actually are at full force. This team has talent, and Donovan Mitchell had one heck of a game, 49 points, but the end just wasn't enough.
Well, here's Alvin Gentry talking about the way that this whole thing ended up. Take it away.
What did the officials say at the end of the regulation?
They didn't say anything. They didn't say anything. It's no, they didn't say anything.
Okay.
What do you think?
Will you pay the fine? You'll pay the fine. I'll tell you exactly how I think about it.
Smart move.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to talk because he doesn't want to pay the fine, but fun stuff from Alvin Gentry there. Okay, here's the thing about Brandon Ingram. Everyone thinks about him, and it's been a little bit of a slow rise for him in his career, but how does getting away from LeBron James actually help Ingram have success?
Well, I think when he was at LeBron, there was a lot of pressure on Brandon Ingram, and there were also trade rumors about him potentially being packaged to get a guy like Anthony Davis. That did inevitably happen, but people forget, Brandon Ingram is only 22 years old, okay? He's averaging 25 points, shooting 40% from the field. Not everybody is a LeBron James. Not everybody is a Zion Williamson who come in right away and just dominate. Think about his first year in the league, Laura. It was coming off a season in which Swaggy P and D'Lo had that whole issue about D'Lo calling out Swaggy P and his wife and all this stuff. Like, that was the maturity level of that team he was on in his first year. Second and third year, he was plagued by injuries. This is the first year that we're actually seeing Brandon Ingram healthy, and we're seeing the potential of how good he can be. I mean, and a lot of people are also talking about the fact that potentially when the draft came out, that he should be drafted over Ben Simmons at that time too, which gives you insight into how special of a talent he could be.
So we're still waiting on Zion to come back for this Pelicans team, but they're going to be a team that can be in the playoffs. You've already said that they're going to be in there. How do you manage Zion knowing that you're trying to make a run, but also trying to keep him healthy?
Pitch count. And it's a lot of constant communication between David Griffin and their staff and Zion about where he is, how his body feels. We had a bet at the beginning of the season, myself and Greeny, with Jalen Rose, that we thought the Pelicans were going to make the playoffs at full strength and full health. If Zion Williamson is able to plug himself back into this equation for short stints, this team does have a chance to make the playoffs. I think they're only 4 or 5 games out of contention for the 8th seed. Lonzo Ball had 13 assists last night. Brandon Ingram is playing well. Derek Favors is protecting the rim. JJ Redick is shooting the ball well. They have all the pieces if they get the momentum from Zion in burst.
All right, so obviously I really wanted us to see this Celtics-Bucks highlight. I was so excited about it that we tried to start there. But let's get to it now. Two of the best teams in the East, and the Bucks are hosting the Celtics. There's the pregame fight, the fake fight. Hey, the Bucks got hot early. There's Giannis slamming it home.
The Bucks are the deepest team in the NBA. And a lot of people can say, how about the Clippers? But the Clippers in their bench is still decent. I love this team. They can beat you in so many facets of the game, shooting threes, and they have a lot of guys that can put the ball on the ground and make plays, and also guys that can play off of Giannis.
Lopez had 3 threes in the first quarter alone, and then we're going to see under 1:30 left. The Celtics were making a comeback in this game.
They were. The Celtics are a team that fights. Kemba Walker, look at that. Blazing speed in transition. This is a duel. I will say this. We still talk about the Clippers or the Lakers being one of the favorites to win the whole thing. We got to talk about the Bucks being one of the favorites. They're that good of a team.
Yeah, they're going to continue to be a team that we're going to look out for there. And here in the final moments, under 20 seconds remaining, could they get it done? Marcus Smart is going to have an opportunity, but not quite enough for him at the end. The Celtics comeback falls short, so the Bucks win this one 128-123. Giannis had 32 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists. What a game for
Lakers Wednesday. Can Orlando go back-to-back? We go back across the street. Clippers turn to host. Teams 0-7 in the second game when playing consecutive road games in L.A. That's not good news for the Magic. Neither was Kawhi Leonard coming off that 43. I went over for the first quarter, sat by Dennis Newman, the radio voice of the Magic. Yeah. Sat by him and watched. Kawhi Leonard was unbelievable. I mean, he was just on. Just on. Dennis and I are both Ducks. There were no Ducks from Leonard. He was 6-7, 14 points in the first quarter. He was focused. Markelle Fultz had the big game against the Lakers. 5 for 17 in this one. Leonard takes it away from him, and that's high percentage. Leonard's going to finish with 32, his fourth straight game with 30 or more points. The Clippers win 122-95. Harrell with 21, and JaMychal Green with an In-N-Out burger, a double-double.
Warriors hosting the Nuggets. Golden State trying to snap a 9-game losing streak. Don't get too excited. That's warm-ups. Klay Thompson not quite ready for game action. Jamal Murray out for Denver. Nuggets trail by as many as 19, but they would come back. Malik Beasley hit 27 off the bench. Nuggets cut it to 2. Under 2:30 to go. They're down 6. Nikola Jokic loses the handle. Crowd wanted to travel. They didn't get it, but he did get the fadeaway jumper. The Nuggets cut it to 4. Under $1:30 to go. It's a 2-point game now. Beasley no good. Michael Porter Jr. rebounding the stick back. Nuggets take a 1-point lead after the free throws. He got fouled there. Other end. Eric Paschall open for 3 and banging that. Warriors with a 2-point lead. And 2 in possession for the Nuggets. Go back to your main man, Jokic, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 113 apiece. After the Warriors miss at the buzzer, they will go to overtime, in overtime. Nuggets down by 2. Porter can't hit. Boy, but Mason Plumlee was on the boards all night. 14 rebounds to go with his 15 points. Nuggets up by 4. Damian Lee, no sir, in a 3-point game at the buzzer. Nuggets come back to win it 134-131. And they made a habit of this and trailed by as many as 19 again in the second half. Denver's 4th win after trailing by 15 or more in the second half. Is he going to be on the show? Are you going to talk with him?
He's not touching my tie.
Hey, glad you can join us for SportsCenter along with Neil Everett. I'm Stan Barrett. In the Battle Royale for the top spot in the Eastern Conference, the Bucks have made the best moves so far.
Yeah, we got no singlets, but Milwaukee's goal is single in its focus. Wear the NBA championship belt when this season comes to a close. Over halfway through, and the Bucks own the best record, 36-6. General manager says the team is chasing a top seed, not total wins. Visiting Boston in chase mode from the get-go. Made even tougher that they're playing a back-to-back, and they got to try and stop the reigning MVP, and you can see that's not happening. And then the threes rain down. 16 of 31 for the game, 52%. Brook Lopez there. DiVincenzo Dante there. He had a career-high 19 off the bench. Celtics down 36-20 after 1. Their largest deficit after the first all season. 76 in the first half. A season high for the Bucks. Kemba Walker trying to pick up the slack. No Jaylen Brown right here. Walker got hot. 24 in the second quarter. That's tied for the most in a quarter in his career. Our research is better than yours. They would cut it to 6, and then the Bucks would go back up big. Antetokounmpo, big night, 32 and 17. But he wasn't happy afterwards because they're up 20 twice, and then guys like Tatum would bring it down. 6-point game right there. Antetokounmpo, inside and the foul. He was 10 of 20 from the free throw line. That'll make you angry too. Walker, how about a 40? But Hayward, 1 of 9 from 3. Tatum, 1 of 5 from 3. Antetokounmpo loses the ball right there. This is a 4-point game. Smart, 5 of 10 from 3. That's not one of the 5. The Bucks win it, 128-123, but weren't happy with that win. All right, Bucks, 10th wire-to-wire win this season. Antetokounmpo got the first bucket, never looked back, although it did get close. I mean, and when I say wire-to-wire, that means they won without any ties or lead changes. If you're not,
Is that what that means?
well, that's what it means. And you know what? I appreciate Vince for writing that down because who knows where my brain is. That's the most in the NBA, and already they're most in a season over the last 20 seasons. Tim Legler starts at shooting guard for us. I got a 2-for-1 question. That's not Sawatsky approved, but what did Milwaukee do right? What did Boston do wrong?
Well, Milwaukee just hit the Celtics with a barrage of shooting to start this game, and things really escalated pretty quickly, to quote a line from the famous comedy Anchorman. By the middle of the second quarter, this thing was pretty much out of hand, and it started early.